Okay, we're ready to talk about breads and carbs. Your great grains are going to be your quinoa, absolutely wonderful, or your brown rice. Again, look at the back and make sure it just says quinoa, organic quinoa. Very simple. This one's from Aldi. Actually, the brown rice is as well. Pre-cooked whole grain brown rice. Super simple. Your spaghettis. Spaghetti's great. The problem with spaghetti is we put too much on our plate, and that's when it becomes unhealthy because we're overloading our carb intake. A serving of your carbs is a half a cup. That's not a lot of pasta. It's not a lot of spaghetti. So I think sometimes we have 2, 3, 4 times what we're supposed to have. And if you go to a restaurant, forget it. Huge portion loaded with sodium. So when you pick your pastas, you want to look for whole grain wheat flour. That's the only ingredient. That's what you're looking for, okay? So skip the white, go for the wheat ones. Same thing here. This one's gluten-free because a lot of times Mike needs gluten-free pasta, so I go ahead and buy some for him. And this is with brown rice flour. Same thing, one simple ingredient, really great. And the good thing about these whole grain pastas are they fill you up, of course, but they take longer to process and to really go through your body too. So they help to keep you full longer. Again, they're those complex carbs which we want in this diet. Sometimes you might have your tuna, your chicken, whatever you have, or hummus. You want it on a cracker. You're looking for a good cracker. I don't always recommend the small little crackers because sometimes you keep reaching in. You can portion size them out, but sometimes if you grab out of the box, you reach in too many times and you're eating way more than you should be and way more than your portion. These Wassa crackers are a great choice. It's a multi-grain, like them a lot. And if you go and you look through the ingredients again, it's all very natural. Whole rice, rye flour, sourdough oat flakes, whole grain wheat flour, whole grain oat flour. So you're getting a lot of whole grains that take your body time to burn. Your body really works hard to burn those down, and it gives you that long-lasting energy. So that's one of my favorite crackers. It's a really crispy, thicker cracker too. They make a thin version. I've never had them, but if you don't like that thick cracker, that may not be your favorite thing. Rice cakes. Sometimes I don't like to waste my carb on a rice cake, but if you have an extra carb and you want to eat it during the day, it can make a really nice snack. I have some of the just like the Kroger brands and Quaker brands. This I found in a grocery store and it was twice the price, but I noticed it was so much heavier too. This is called Lundberg and it's brown rice organic rice cakes. This is 8.5 ounces. The Kroger brand, all the other ones were like 4.9 ounces. So I thought, well, I am getting almost twice as much since I'm paying twice as more, which is good. And it's a more dense, filling rice cake, which I like because I want to put that carb in me that's going to fuel me, that's going to keep my energy up and going, and I really don't want to waste a carb on a light little fluffy rice cake. I want it to be a good carb. So this one here, organic whole grain brown rice, sea salt. So there is salt. I'm going to look at my sodium. It's 1%. That's fine. I couldn't find it unsalted. If I could have, I would have bought it and saved that little bit of sodium, but I thought that this was a really nice choice to put peanut butter, and you can put your strawberries or raspberries on it. If you put strawberries and peanut butter, it kind of feels like a peanut butter and jelly. Or maybe hummus with that fresh salsa over it. Just great little snacks too. And it gives you that crunch that you might need, so I liked that choice. Oats, simple. There's a lot of expensive oats out there that say, you know, organic, whole grain, all kinds of crazy stuff in the label. It makes you think, oh, I got to get this one. It's more expensive. That's got to be the best. Cheap oats. These are from Aldi. You can buy, you know, Kroger brand, anything. Just look at it and make sure the only ingredient in it is 100% whole grain rolled oats. Yeah, these are old-fashioned oats, not the quick oats. These are the old-fashioned ones too. I think they're a little denser and thicker, so they give you a little more nutrition. It takes your body longer to break that down too. So these are great. I use a lot of recipes in. Obviously, I don't want to use white flour, but that will call for oat flour, which I have, or just blended oats. The blender muffins that I've recommended you guys, absolutely love. I always make them almost every week. But this is their base. It's oats. So your morning breakfast oats, cold oats, the quick oats that you make and put in, they're overnight refrigerated oats is what it is. These oats are just perfect. Just grab your big cheap canister and you're ready to go. I do like Bob Mills, his red mills. These are gluten-free. Again, this is even denser and thicker than the old-fashioned oats. I have these for Mike because if we're gonna have oatmeal, I like to give these to him since he has a few issues with the gluten. Cashew is a brand I trust. If you're looking for, this isn't something I eat every day, but you can't go wrong with 3 ingredients in your cereal: whole grain wheat, cane sugar, and natural flavoring. So you do have 7 grams of sugar, which is 14% of your daily allowance in this too. So that's just something to think about, those 7 grams when you only have 26 grams to eat. And you can see from the ingredients, there's cane sugar. It's real sugar, so that's good. It's nothing artificial. But again, when you're supposed to have 26 grams a day and no more than half of it can come from added sugar, this is completely added sugar because there's no sugar in the grain. Okay? So just think about that if that's a choice you decide to make. Bread. What's good? White bread, wheat bread, sprouted bread, grain bread, oat bread. So many choices. A couple brands I like. Ezekiel, I know this is really big in the for health foods. Everyone's probably heard of it. It is a sprouted grain bread. It takes a longer time to break down again. It's great. A lot of people don't care for it because it's a little bit harder, a little bit thicker. You keep it in the freezer. It is more expensive. All these breads that I'm going to show you are more pricey. You keep it in the freezer and you pull it out as you need it. Let me remind you, a carb choice is 1 piece of bread. So you're using this very sparingly and it will really last a long time. I keep all of mine in the freezer. So this is the Ezekiel cinnamon raisin bread. They have a regular bread too. It's good. Again, a lot of people prefer something a little bit softer. So I have a couple recommendations. This is Dave's Killer Bread. Like, this is a newer bread. It's like the big thing now, I guess. But if you look at all the ingredients, they are all organic and it's wonderful. There's wheat, there's, you know, if I could read it, an ancient grain blend, and barley, and rye, and millet, and quinoa, all kinds of really great things in this bread. They were on sale. They were out of everything that I wanted except for white bread done right. I'm like, oh, white bread, you can't have white bread. First ingredients, organic wheat. So it's all wheat based, and it's, so there's not, what you want to avoid is that enriched wheat flour or enriched flour. Because what happens when they're processing the flour, when they process it and they go through running it through everything, they strip all the vitamins and all the minerals out of it. They strip everything good at it. So they have to fortify it. They have to enrich it. They have to throw all of that back in there. So that's not what you want. You don't want it processed out and then artificial stuff thrown in. You want the real good stuff. So even though this is called white bread done right and I haven't had it yet, my favorite's one of the ones that I don't know if it's a grain. I like chewy, thick, dense bread. So we've got some Dave's bread done white, done right and white. This is, most of his breads are about 110 calories. This is a thin sliced one. And I bought this because it was the only one in the store. But the thin slice is nice too, especially if, you know, depending on which chart you're using, if you have a few more carbs. You know, if you use 2 slices of these, I would consider it like 1.5 carbs. So this is perfect for Mike because he can have a few more carbs. And when he has his breakfast sandwich, he loves to have 2 pieces of bread. So this is just a winner all around for that. Dave's Killer Bread also makes bagels that are out of this world. Absolutely love this epic everything. Again, we eat way too many carbs. This is not, 1 bagel is huge. That is 2 servings. A serving size, think again, your carbs are half a cup, right? I'm going to make them count too. But a half a cup, half of this bagel cut up would be a half a cup. So think about that when you're making your selections. And again, all natural, great product. Dave's Killer Bread makes the bagels and the bread. Another option, this one has 12 whole grains and seeds. This is Aldi's Simply Nature brand. I really like this. This is, depending on whether Dave's Bread's on sale, this could be a little bit cheaper, or sometimes you can even find Dave's Killer Bread cheaper. But this is another good option with a lot of the same whole natural ingredients that you find in the Dave's Killer Bread too. And that's called Seed-tastics, and this is only at Aldi's. That's one of their brands. So, well, that's about it for all of your grains. Hope you enjoyed it and got some tips and found a few of your favorites so you can enjoy a little bit of your bread and just choose those great nutritious grains to fill your body.